I like to think of your outfit almost as like the cake and then your accessories as like the frosting. So that's like a good way of thinking about it. When you have a great outfit, when you accessorize the right way, it takes it to a completely different level. Hey guys, welcome back to the Power Closet, a space for perspectives where conversation meets style. If you're new here, hi, what's up? What's poppin', lockin', droppin', stoppin', rockin'? My name is Tumi. I make all sorts of videos from fashion, conversation, lifestyle, and everything in between. Why, hello people. It is so nice to be speaking to you guys again. If you are new to this channel, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. I upload 2 times a week on Wednesdays and on Sundays. And if you love anything tasteful in terms of like fashion, lifestyle, that kind of good stuff, this is definitely the place to be. Now, if you are a returning subscriber, you will notice that I am in a different location, and you're correct. It is because I'm currently back home in Lagos, Nigeria, hence the different scenery. But that doesn't change a thing because you're going to still be getting the same kind of content from me. Oh, by the way, no, I have not moved back to Lagos, Nigeria. I am visiting, but still I have to keep YouTube going. Now, guys, when I was looking at the data in terms of like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all the social media platforms that I'm on, I noticed a bit of a pattern. I'm beginning to see that you guys love videos where I'm doing anything that has to do with designer on a budget, finding really expensive things for a good deal, when you can look at like high street items and make it feel a bit more luxe, or when you're getting high street items that give luxury for like a really good price. You guys like anything that gives luxury on a budget. So I started thinking and I was like, I'm onto something. I thought it would be a great idea to introduce a brand new series on this platform where I basically call it Luxury on a Budget. And then I go across different retailers, different platforms to give you things that I think are incredible. And it's also a good deal. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Definitely let me know in the comments below. And the first platform we're going to be looking at today is none other than eBay. And I'm sure you're wondering, to me, eBay, why eBay? Okay, I'm going to let you into a secret. eBay is an e-commerce platform, right? And they sell every single thing. Okay, not every single thing, because I don't think you can buy a house off eBay. But if you're looking for clothing, if you're looking for shoes, if you're looking for laptops, if you're looking for things for sound, whatever the case it is that you're looking for, you can probably find it on eBay. The best thing is you can probably bid for this thing or buy it outright. So it's a phenomenal platform for finding exquisite things for a great price. Plus, when I was watching the Met Gala, I couldn't help but notice that Laura Roach, Emma Chamberlain, and a little bit of some stars kept mentioning about them getting their luxury items. So maybe it's a sunglass, a pair of like earrings, some jewelry, and whatever the case may be. They said they had gotten these things off eBay. So eBay is really pushing the fact that they do have luxury items on their platform. So of course, I had to scour eBay and find some great deals and bring it to you guys live on my channel. So that's pretty much it. I know you guys are just itching to see what it is that I found. So let's jump right into it. I just said jump right into it, but I do have another thing to share. Now, the beautiful thing about eBay is that there are so many options. But that can also be a little bit of a problem because it can be like finding a needle in a haystack. And the way that I've narrowed it down to show you some of the luxury goods is by being super specific. When I was on TikTok and I was browsing, I came across this creator. I think she's called Influenced by Everyone. And this was about, I think 3 months ago or something of that sort. She released this Notion template that basically gave you Japanese sellers of luxury items. Now, I went to Japan 3 years ago and I can tell you for a fact, when you want to do vintage luxury, Japan, top tier. The prices are amazing and the condition is usually exquisite. Now, from the best of my knowledge, actually selling counterfeit items in Japan is actually illegal, which means it kind of puts your mind at ease when you're thinking of, is this thing going to be legal or is this thing going to be real or not? So when she released this chart of really good Japanese sellers, trust that your girl literally went through them and I was looking for amazing ones that did exquisite things that I could bring. Well, it was really for myself and then I decided to share with you guys. Of course, I'm going to put her handle in the description box as well as the Notion link it is that she shares. It's completely free, so definitely check out her page too if you want to have a look at these Japanese sellers yourself. But yeah, that is how I was able to narrow it down. I literally found Japanese luxury sellers that are amazing. Literally went through them and I'm bringing you guys amazing deals and exquisite items. So now we can jump into the items. So the way I've structured this video is I've structured it into 3. We're gonna have bags, we're gonna have shoes, and then we're gonna have accessories. I just want it to be super easy easy for you guys to flow through everything. Now, starting off strong, the first item I'm looking at is this beautiful Prada nylon shoulder bag for $404. Now, the reason why I loved this one was because I thought the price is incredible. And I was wearing an outfit when I was in Lagos a few days ago, and I just thought the Prada bag would have been such an amazing touch to my outfit. So when I saw this for $404, I was like, this is a steal. It is definitely something you can buy in store right now. There is no way you're going to be buying it for $404, right? You're going to pay a lot more in terms of retail, and I'll put the price of the retail on the screen. But it is so clean, so timeless, and it's something that will work in and out of season, making it such a hit. Next, we have this beautiful bag, again from Prada, and this retails for $524. Now, I love this bag because it was quite unique. I've never seen anything like it before. I felt like it is a black bag, but it has a bit of an edge to it, and I really love that. It's also not an edge to the point that it is overwhelming and it's not something you can wear daily. It's almost like a staple, but with a twist, and you guys know how I feel about that. Condition-wise, I would give it an 8 or even more than an 8. It looks absolutely great, and if there are any minor details, I feel like this one can be fixed very, very easily. So I thought it is such a steal. Next, we have this incredible Gucci Jackie Mini, which retails for $721. It is definitely more expensive than the other two, but what I loved about it was it is something I've never seen before. Like, of course, we've all seen a Jackie, but I love the fact that this one also had python leather on it, and it looked really, really rare. Now, for the price, python leather, I think it is absolutely incredible. It is definitely still below retail, and it's an exotic bag, so it is 1000% a steal. I think condition-wise, I'd probably rate it around an 8.5. These are solely based on pictures, right? Like, I haven't picked up the bag or anything like that, but I think it is so beautiful. It is another one that would work so well in and out of seasons, especially in the night time. So maybe you want to have like an evening look. This is the kind of bag that is very small and very appropriate for a dinner, but still adds something different because it's an exotic. Finally, we have this beautiful bag from Chanel, and if you know anything about vintage Chanel, you know that vintage Chanel bags are exquisite. I personally believe that they're better than the modern ones and the ones that they're releasing in store right now. So this one is a vintage bowling bag / traveling bag, and it retails for $1,935. Now, the reason this caught my eye was, one, the condition looked pretty good. It also reminded me of the trend that's very ongoing. I feel like right now East-West bags are trending, evident by the fact that their rival Hermes, right? What is super popular right now is the Hermes shoulder bag, which was made by Jean-Paul Gaultier way back. So everyone is loving the whole East-West style. We see like with the Andiamo, we see even the Kelly cut resurfacing, we see the Andiamo clutch resurfacing. So the whole East-West trend is super strong. So when I saw this vintage Chanel bag, it kind of reminded me of that. And I just thought it was super chic. It would be really nice for the summer, but it's also something that would work very well in and out of season. So I 1000% love it. I would rate it overall an 8 over 10. Now, if you notice, I'm rating most of the stuff between 8 and 9. I don't know if I give anyone a 10, but stay tuned and we'll see if that actually happens. Now we enter our next section, which is none other than shoes. So I'm going to be very honest, guys. Whenever I'm looking for vintage steals, be it on eBay or whatever platform it is that I'm on, there's a very specific shoe that I love to look for, and it is none other than Manolo Blahnik mules. This is because Manolos retail for over $1,000 a piece, but I find that if you find these vintage or if you find these in like a secondhand store, they're usually way more affordable, and sometimes you can even get them brand new. You guys, trust me, I love to save my money, but I also love luxury things. So if you notice, a lot of the shoes in here tend to be Manolo Blahniks. Another shoe that I really, really would recommend seeing if you can get a little bit of a discount would be the Chanel ballerinas. The only problem is whenever I find them on vintage websites or online retailers, they tend to be super beat up. And that's not the kind of shoe I want to buy beat up. So anyway, if I find any that is in a really good condition, next time I'll include it below. Starting off strong, we actually have one shoe from Chanel, and it is none other than Chanel tweed trainers. This retail for $600, which is super expensive. But if you think about it in comparison to the retail price, now the retail price is $1,000. I think it should be around $1,200. So we're roughly around 50% retail. Now, I think the shoe is very chic. It's in a UK 6, if I'm not mistaken, which, I mean, if someone wants to try that out, be my guest. I'll put everything below in the description box. But my only thing about this shoe is that it's with tweed fabric. So you're going to have to be a little bit more careful. If it was plain leather or something that was a bit more durable like nylon, it would make more sense. But tweed is a difficult fabric to clean from what I've heard. So I can understand there being quite a bit of a significant discount to this online. But overall, in terms of condition, it looks pretty good. And if you want to dip your toes into the whole luxury sneaker market, this could be a great way to try that. Next, we have this beautiful muse from Manolo Blahnik. This retails for $550. Now, when I saw this, the gasp I gasped. It was absolutely incredible. I love the pattern and the detail on the shoe. I think it is absolutely sensational. It is definitely one that would work super well for the summer seasons because it's super bright. I think if you're wearing it with like a pair of jeans and a very simple shirt, it just elevates your outfit instantly. Or if you're wearing like a mini dress and you wore this and you didn't want to wear super high heels, the fact that the shoe, it has like pattern work and it's just so elegant, it would take your outfit to a whole new level. I think the shoe is very beautiful. If I'm not mistaken, this type of shoe is actually known as the Manolo Blahnik May sale, and I personally believe in buying these shoes on a bit of a discount. I found them brand new on Luisa Via Roma. I found brand new ones like across different platforms. So if I find anything good, I will leave it in the description box below. I was also going to add, condition wise, I would rate this a 9. If I'm not mistaken, it might be semi brand new or almost brand new, but it just looks so good. The next one is another pair of May sales. Now this is in an EU 37. Now when I saw this shoe took my breath away. I have never seen a pattern or a print like this in my entire life. It is absolutely gorgeous. So to the lucky person that buys this shoe, who wears a 37, you are very lucky. I think this shoe is absolutely incredible. I feel like it gives style. It just makes me feel like the lady who is wearing this is super stylish. I can imagine it with literally just a plain white mini dress and a bag for the summer, and it would look so nice. It is also another mule that would work in and out of season. So I could wear this in the fall, I could wear this in the winter, I could wear this in spring, and that is incredible. I would even say this might be a little bit more wearable than the original May sale I showed you a few minutes ago. It is 1000% incredible. Finally, we have a pair of open-toed mules, and these retail for $450. It's in a UK 6 or an EU 39. I think these shoes are beautiful. Now, a shoe that I wear very often, especially when I'm in a hot climate, is a sandal mule that is not that high. So it's anything from about 50 mm to about 70 mm. I think that is an incredibly elegant shoe to wear literally for day or for night. And I have been wearing that quite a bit whilst I've been in Lagos. Now, if you want something a little bit elevated, because I've said sometimes you want to splash the cash and you want to buy Manolo, or sometimes you don't, and another alternative will be to buy something from Mango, which is usually $35.99. But if you want to invest in a pair of mule sandals that are very elevated, you can't go wrong with Manolos. So these ones retail for $450, and I love the fact that it's just a simple black sandal. It has a bit of an intricate detail in the front, and the heel height is not astronomically high. So this is 1000% a hit. I think condition wise, I'd probably also rate this a 9. It looks pretty good from the pictures, but of course I haven't bought it, but it looks very good, and I know it is something that would work so well in literally every woman's wardrobe. The final section will be none other than vintage jewelry. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I love jewelry so much, evident by the fact that I have bling on my fingers, right? So this one is from H&M Studio. I love it so much, and this is an old one from Mango. Super duper beautiful. Now, the reason why I love vintage jewelry is because I feel like it literally takes an outfit to a whole new level. You can have the most basic outfit on, but when you add on vintage jewelry, especially when it's like gold or like silver and it's quite chunky, I just feel like it adds something entirely different and takes your outfit to another level. I like to think of your outfit almost as like the cake, and then your accessories as like the frosting. So that's like a good way of thinking about it. When you have a great outfit, when you accessorize the right way, it takes it to a completely different level. So let's jump right in. Now, there are two brands that I love for vintage jewelry, and it is none other than Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent. Now, you're gonna know why in a second. Now, this whole thing with Chanel is that in the past, they did incredible gold vintage style jewelry, which is why whenever I'm looking for vintage jewelry, I run to them. The same thing goes for Yves Saint Laurent. I remember a time where every blogger and their dad was wearing this particular ring known as the YSL RT ring. It was so iconic. I actually considered buying it a few months ago from Vinted, but now that one got sold because the price was so good. So I'm going to show you guys a few options that I saw on eBay, and if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check them out. The first one is a pair of gold-plated Chanel earrings that I found, which are retail for $300. I think they're incredible. Now, in comparison to retail price, this is a steal. I also love the fact that it is just so simple. It just says Chanel, but I love how like old school and how just very vintage it looks. I love vintage style jewelry. I'd rate this a solid 9 out of 10. It looks super duper gorgeous, and I know that it would work well in and out of season. Next, we have these drop earrings from YSL. The reason I love these are I love the fact that it actually says YSL, and then there's just a little bit of a gem at the bottom. This is obviously costume jewelry, so obviously none of these things are real gemstones, but I love how chic it is. I feel like if I wore this kind of thing with like a white shirt and jeans, it would instantly elevate my outfit. Or if you wanted to sleek your hair back, it would also be an incredible look. I really like the price. $175 is such a steal. If you think about it, retail price for some YSL earrings right now, like I'll show you some of the ones that I put in my wish list in my Teresa. They are very, very, very expensive. Of course, they're not the same style, but just showing you in terms of like, just showing you how expensive YSL earrings can be, $175 is without a shadow of doubt a steal. The last piece of jewelry would be the YSL RT ring. Now this one retails for $190 and it's in a size 6. I think this one is super beautiful. So it's not the original RT ring that was like all over the pages, or at least I didn't see this style. The one that I know so well, I'll put the picture on the screen here. This one kind of, it looks a little bit more low-key than that one, and I love it so much. I love the fact that there's also like a YSL engraving on the side, so it's giving if you know, you know, which is obviously something you guys know I'm very much into. What a rundown. So that is it, guys. Those are all the items that I thought were absolutely incredible on eBay. But you know what? I'm actually not even telling you the full truth, because you guys, I saw so many, like so many. So if you want this kind of video again, definitely comment below so that we can do this and even make this even more interesting whilst I keep showing you more and more beautiful items that I definitely think are worth the splurge. Now, before you pull the trigger on any of these items, I think it is important for us to actually speak about something that is necessary before you make the purchases. I'm calling this section things to be mindful of, because yes, I've shown you all these beautiful items, but there are some things to be very mindful of when shopping on eBay or any other retail platform. Now, the first thing is authenticity. Now, to the best of my knowledge, I feel like eBay definitely has a portal known as Authenticity Guaranteed. So that is when their in-house team have guaranteed that these items that are deemed as like Dior or Chanel or Cartier, whatever the case may be, it is actually from there and it is not from some dodgy place in the middle of the earth. So that is a platform, that is definitely a portal that you can look to when you're shopping on eBay. Other than that, if you're going on these individual Japanese sellers, chances are you want to check very thoroughly that these things have been authenticated. Like, for example, can they send you a certificate of authenticity? Can they send you like a receipt? Definitely check this before you make such a hefty purchase. The second thing is actually something super cheeky that I didn't notice, and it was almost an oversight. Check your shipping location. So I told you guys, I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria, but then I actually live in London. When my location was actually Nigeria, it had literally like 7 items from one particular seller. And when I switched it back to London, the point is definitely check your shipping location, because I think from my experience, wherever it is that you're located, it affects the ability to ship things to you. So it's something to be super mindful of. And I think the next item, which is literally another elephant in the room based on what it is I just said, taxes and duties. If you've been following me a while, you know that duties and taxes, I don't want to call it the bane of my existence, but it really honestly and truly might be. Whenever I see the DHL, I remember the DHL man once saying to me, "Keep it going, you're keeping me in business." And I looked at him like, "Excuse me, Oga, how dare you say something like that?" But I mean, he wasn't lying, right? He was definitely telling the truth. Before you make any of these purchases, I want you guys to think about the fact that you might have to pay anything between 20 to 25% if you're based in London. And wherever it is that you're based, you probably might have to pay taxes unless stated otherwise. Like maybe taxes are actually included in the price. And if that is the case, that's amazing. So read the fine print. Read the fine print before you make this. Now, sometimes the truth of the matter is that even when you slap on duties and taxes, it might still be more affordable than buying it retail. And if that is the case, definitely pull the trigger. Well, as long as it's still within budget, obviously. Another thing to consider would be the returns policy. Can you actually return these items? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. Whenever I shop on retailers like this, I low-key just come into the fact that I'm probably not going to be returning it, because that's just the way that I can accept it. So when I'm making a purchase, I have it at the back of my mind that, to me, there's a very high chance you're not going to be able to return this. So definitely take that into consideration. Will you be happy if you got the item and you can't return it? Is this something you can sell again on another platform or even resell it back on eBay? So think about that. Now, sometimes you might get lucky in the sense that the reseller actually offers returns, which means that shopping is way, way, way easier. Now, you have to check each individual seller to check what their returns policy is. I don't think eBay has like a catch-all bucket across all sellers. So definitely check that out. Finally, the last thing I want you to think about is, if it's so beat up, can I still restore it? There are some times where you find items that are so good, like the deal is so good. I don't know, maybe you found Manolos for $100, but the thing looks like it's been punched and beaten and thrown into the mountaintop. So the beauty is that the price is good, but the condition doesn't look right. I want you to think about every single purchase. Like, for example, a bag. If a bag was discounted to $400 and the retail price was $2,000, but it looked like it was beat up, can you actually restore the bag at $400? Now, there are websites and platforms that help to restore items, and I'm going to put one on the screen. It is known as The Seam. So The Seam was like featured on like Vogue and like some other platforms not too long ago, and they're very good at restoring beat up items. So if you think about the original item plus the cost of restoration, is it still less than retail value? If the answer to that question is yes, then I think it is definitely still a deal. So I think that's everything, guys. Let me know what you think about all the items it is that I listed. Let me know which one was your favorite. If you purchased anyone, please let me know in the comments below, or anyone it is that you're umming and ahhing and you're thinking, should I pull the trigger on this? Definitely let me know. Please let me know if you would like more of these kind of videos. You know, I've said I want to make it into a bit of a series, exploring different platforms, and then we can talk through all the things I think are incredible. Now, the reason why I really wanted to do this for you guys was because I saw you guys how you reacted to Farm Rio sample sale, the Bissa Village vlog, my Bissa Village like vlog, which was like the ready-to-wear unboxing, even like on like TikTok. There have been so many different points of data that has shown me that you guys really like this, and yeah, I really want to create what you like, hence making up this video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you soon. Bye, guys.